Wanted to talk to you about my experience with writing erotica or adult fiction. So, years ago, my kids were really small. All my kids are adults now, but I wanted to see what it was like to write for the adult industry. And so my stepmother, she said, "Oh, well, why don't you go see about it in Vegas?" And so I said, "Oh, okay, yeah." So they supported me, my dad and my stepmom. I think my dad didn't really realize what I was going to, but it was like, okay, go see, right? So there was a conference called adultdex, and it happens the same time as comdex, which is like this big computer software industry type of event that happens every year in Vegas. So the adult industry does their conference at the same time. So I guess like, you go there for Comdex and then you end up at Adult Dex as a bonus. And so I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I'm like, okay, well, let's go see. So I get there, and mind you, this is the first time that I've been on a plane since I was a kid. So I don't even know how old I was, but it was kind of like I was nervous. My stomach was in knots, So I'm going there. I don't know Vegas. So I'm like, okay, I can only just really stay within the event space and my hotel just so that I feel comfortable. So at the conference, there's a lot going on. But me, I'm like, okay, I'm nervous still. The plane ride was just a mess. So I'm like, okay, let me just do the basics because I'm finding out information. So in my hotel, I go on the elevator and there's this really, really pretty woman. And I'm just like, oh gosh, she's pretty, flawless skin, real pretty nails, just built beautifully. So I go to the conference and she's one of the speakers. So she's staying in my hotel. Well, lo and behold, it's Vanessa Del Rio. I'm like, what? And I remember hearing about Vanessa Del Rio when I was younger. It was just like back in the day, she was like the top porn star. And so the fact that I was staying in the same hotel as her and she was like right there in my face. And I'm telling you, this lady's skin was flawless. I mean, she was just beautiful, right? So in the talk that she did, she talked about how, she doesn't do porn anymore. And, she was around when videos were on cassette tapes or whatever, right? They were on these big reels, right? Now you can get like a DVD or whatever, or you stream it. And so that's how long she's been around, where they made movies on the reel, the old fashioned movies. And so she just got out of the industry because of the AIDS epidemic, right? And one of her friends had died, one of her close friends. So she started doing a vlog. And so that's how she kind of ended up at this conference, right? So that was intriguing just to see her, to meet her, because I actually did meet her. She had a booth at the event as well. And so that was just, I mean, it was like the highlight of my whole trip to meet her in person. Another you think unique thing about going to Adult Dex was just all of the money that's spent in that industry, and it's from video to written literature. At the time that I was there, people were just getting into doing vlogs in the adult industry where they knew that there was a market for people who like to write and they were intrigued by reading and getting a visual by reading the literature that people had written. And so I met some people there that were into that. So that was perfect for me, right? But there were so many different people, all walks of life, there trying to find out about this industry and how they could fit in. Now, at that time, there were so many legal ramifications around the adult industry, as it always has been. So there were only like a couple of attorneys in that industry. So they were there as well. So I know the industry has probably gotten bigger and there's probably more representation, but it was just fascinating to me that I was on the front end of learning about something that hadn't really blown up yet, right? And so after that experience, I didn't really want to go that route, but I was very intrigued at the industry and I had written some erotica. So, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so if you want to write adult literature, there is a market for it. You just have to seek it out. I'm not the person to help you with it, but there is this whole group of people that are meeting, going to Vegas during convex, and just meeting other people in that industry. So there are resources out there for you if you're interested in that type of writing. And so everybody has their niche, everybody has their own genre of writing, and so this might be yours. So I hope all of this helped you. This was just a little short story that was actually funny to me. I don't mind telling it every now and then because I was just like really green at that time and I didn't know what I was getting into. So I hope this helped you. Take care.